This year marks the 20th anniversary of the September 11th terror attacks. To mark that solemn occasion and to honor the lives lost, PenFed Credit Union and the Military Women's Remembrance will hold a Remembrance rally. And joining us to talk about this are James Schenck, President and CEO of PenFed Credit Union, and retired Chief Warrant Officer 5, Phyllis J. Wilson. Good morning to both of you. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hello.
Good morning.
James, I want to start with you. Why did PenFed decide to partner with the Military Women's Memorial to remember our nation's military heroes?
This has been very personal to me. I had served as a military officer in the Pentagon through February of 2001. I had joined the PenFed Credit Union family, and on 9/11, when those terrorists hijacked our aircraft and flew it into the Pentagon, they killed my replacement in my office, and they killed my colleagues that I served with over the last 3 years. And so this has been very personal, that every day since 9/11 at PenFed, we try to give back to service organizations who make a difference in honoring those, the men and women who serve, and in this case, the Military Women's Memorial that honors the women who have served our nation, raising their hands as volunteers, going in the harm's way to keep us free.
Phyllis, the relay will consist of a 177-mile walk. Tell us how your organization came to that number, 177.
Well, we would have loved the number to have been a 0-mile walk, to be honest with you, but sadly, because 177 military women have died in combat zones since 9/11, that's the number that we arrived at. We didn't start with that even a few months ago, but sadly, because of the loss of life just last week in Afghanistan, we added 2 more miles to the Remembrance Relay.
That in itself is heartbreaking. James, as I say, these stories can break your heart when you think of the families that are dealing with the loss of their loved ones. But they still provide some sort of inspiration for us, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think of always the little boy or that little girl that might have lost their mom or dad in combat, and making sure they understood that they had a brave parent, a heroic parent, someone that volunteered, someone that decided to give more of themselves than they ever asked in return, someone that raised their hand and said, pick me, I'm willing to go into harm's way to defend the freedoms of all Americans. So all of us, this has touched every community, every hometown since 9/11. We all know someone that has served. We know someone that's lost a loved one. Let's continue to remember, to remain strong, and to continue to get the next generation to volunteer to be part of our national defense.
And Phyllis, finally, can you talk about the role that women play in our armed forces? You yourself are a veteran.
Sure. I served for 37 years, so I was certainly, in the military on 9/11. And since 9/11, I have 4 sons that are combat veterans as a result of this long war. But fortunately, from when I joined until today, the amount of opportunities for women in the military has broadened to such a degree. And a lot of that, sadly, comes from the fact that we've been needed to fight this long war. But also, we've proven ourselves in every way, shape, and form across any part of the battlefield. So now women have the opportunity for any and every job specialty that's out there across any branch of service. It's your opportunity to serve. But as we saw just last week, it's also, sadly, one of the prices that are paid is you lay down your life at that altar of freedom. And 2 young women did it last week.
Yeah, it's not an easy reminder for all of us that it happened so soon and so close to this anniversary. Where can our viewers get more information so they can help be a part of this?
Yeah, the Military Women's Memorial has a website, womensmemorial.org, and you can go there to learn about the 3 million women that have defended this country, but also about the Remembrance Relay. So whether you want to form your own local team and do a walk in remembrance as a team, or you just walk out to your mailbox or stand around for a couple of minutes with your cup of coffee, please, I ask you, in that week, the 5th through the 11th of September, where we're out there walking 177 miles, stop for just a second, please, remember everybody that was lost on 9/11, those that we have lost since, and those that have all served this country for the last 20 years.
Most
but
definitely.
womensmemorial.org is your place to go.
Well said. James Schenck, President and CEO of PenFed Credit Union and retired Chief Warrant Officer 5, Phyllis J. Wilson, thank you so much to both of you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.